Improv. I is for imagination, which we can plainly see. M is for make-believe, which usually works for me. P is for play hard, for all that it is worth. R is for recycle, 'cause we're choking Mother Earth. O is for opposites, which are funnier than the sames. V is for Viola, the mother of all theater games. And E is for excel, if you practice what you reach. Put it all together, and that spells improv with an E.
I think we would cut that off at like the O. It would be funny if we just cut it. Okay, go ahead.
Anything can happen and will. You must always be prepared for the unexpected.
Certain things should be established up front. Current events, history, science, mechanics, medicine, sales.
At work, at the store, driving in the car, talking on the phone, eating in restaurants.
Like a relative, someone at work, or a friend from school.
You must remain in character throughout the scene.
The only thing worked out before is the process. You can become a toaster if you want to.
And I'm at the beginning again.
Let's set up a scene where Herman can do his thing. Character is who you are, what is going on around you, the entire space that is available to you. Every scene has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I don't have a son named Johnny. Things that make us shake our heads in wonder, things that make no sense, things we are critical of, things we accept anyway.
Again, though, the opposite can also work. Improv is a little like magic.
Reality is gone. The theory is that
Play the scene legitimately. Be real. You can't separate good acting from good improv. This isn't meant to restrict what you can play. You can be as bizarre as you want. You can be as extreme as you want. You can play anything you want. As long as you treat anything you do on stage as reality for that moment, the audience will believe it. Now read it again with the addition of attitude. How did you do that?
even if the attitude is that of ambivalence, it must be played with conviction.
Your only requirement is to fulfill the premise. How you do it is up to you. I'm sorry, it's a blank.
Is being funny the goal? You can be any place you want to be. As soon as you introduce real objects, you start to limit the imagination. The existence of some real things makes it harder for the audience to accept something that is not real. The theory is that if nothing is actually tangible, then anything can be introduced.
The conflict may be established off stage before the scene begins, or it may be discovered as the scene is in progress.
Gibberish.
Sometimes they're just like, what is this?
Wrong. Yeah. Go ahead.
A classic kind of straight person is the interviewer. His role is to ask appropriate questions that will set up, that is, lead the character towards funny responses.
No. No.
This life is usually not something that the audience ever sees. The name of some of the characters I play, for instance, any way you want.
Is truth.
Whether or not you intend to get involved in the theater is a fine line. Sometimes you have to exaggerate an experience to make it funny, but sometimes all you have to do is tell the truth. Just report on life. The trick is in recognizing what things to report. You need not necessarily do an imitation.
This may sound silly, but don't forget to remember the name you give to your own character.
Who are you? What kind of shoes are you looking for?
Sometimes the conflict of a scene is predetermined, built into the premise.
A lot of improvisers like to name their characters. It helps to give them more of an identity. Or it may be discovered as the scene is in progress. Leading men and women are usually good looking in a traditional sense. Whereas character people are those who have certain physical attributes that make them distinctive in appearance.
You must remain in character throughout the scene. Improv theater does make use of, quote, personal props. Maybe all you can think of is that you do a convincing German accent and you want to try it. I'm looking around too much there. Sprinkling the show with strong, short scene, known as blackouts, will also help keep things moving. A blackout is a scene that consists of one punchline. Sometimes that punchline is the only line spoken in the scene. If buying a pair of shoes is the premise of the scene, and the conflict is that the store does not have the type of shoe that the customer is looking for, then the scene may end without a pair of shoes being purchased.
Where are you coming from?
The middle is about the characters exploring and dealing with the conflict.
Can I read?
You must always be prepared for the unexpected. How much of an improv show is improvised? Play to the top of the character's intelligence.
They see something created from nothing.
It is possible to have two strong characters in the same scene, as long as they work together to build the scene. When you have two strong characters, they are generally either parallel characters or opposites. Parallel characters are two people who are genetically the same, like two nerds on a first date or two old people on a park bench. Opposite characters could be a virgin and a prostitute, or the class president and the class clown. The parallel characters can create a slice of life scene. Yeah, that genetics part was weird.
Originality is an integral part of performing comedy. Even in a scene about two characters who are either unwilling or unable to communicate with each other, like a couple having a spat, the actors must be completely in tune with each other in order to express their character's lack of communication. Isn't it? I have worked over the years with many very talented improvisers, all of whom are funny in their own unique way.
Don't plan too much ahead.
You want to try to capture the essence of a character, not just the shell. In playing a character,
Who are you?
the most improvised element of the scene, of course, is plot, for it will be constantly changing. For my parents.